Like, what's the best way to hashtag for people to then read? Do you have?
Yeah. So the idea about the hashtag is that it aggregates conversations on Twitter around a singular word. So what happened is, as Twitter, as the volume in Twitter started increasing and people started getting more and more followers, or were following more and more people, it became hard to follow a specific topic thread within Twitter. So what they did was they created hashtags, which was just the pound symbol and a word after it. And that word then became, and they would include that in every tweet. So then if you went into Twitter search and you did a search, hashtag plus that word, like LA Web Professionals, they would see that whole conversation that was happening around LA Web Professionals. So ideally, when you're thinking about a hashtag to create a conversation, it needs to be one word. There should be a space between the pound and the word. It should be hashtag one word. And you should try to keep it short because you don't want it to eat up your space in Twitter.
We use LAWPG.
There you go. Yep.
Should these hashtag titles be before or after like a tweet? Does it matter?
And generally, the standards that people throw them in at the end. But I mean, you could put it before, but you generally want to catch someone's eye with the first part of your tweet. So you probably wouldn't put the hashtag right at the very beginning. The standard is to put it at the end.
And it's not case sensitive, right?
No, it's not case sensitive. Yeah. One thing that is important is if you tweet with the @ symbol in front of, like if you direct a tweet at somebody, so say your name is Mary and I'm Matt, and I say @Mary, what did you think about this evening's presentation? That is only going to go to people who are following me and are following her. It's not going out to all of Twitter. So sometimes you'll see people who put a period first, like they'll put period, then @Mary to confuse Twitter. But just know that if you're sending an @ message to somebody directly, and that's how you start your tweet, it's not going to go out to everybody.
Actually, today, I think that changed.
They just changed it today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just
The period in front of it,
it.
I'm getting retweeted all over the web on that one. They broke it.
So now it does go to everyone?
So it does go to everybody.
No, even if you put the period there, it won't. The only way you can get everybody to do it is just to manually put in the @ symbol and the person's name. Otherwise, it's only you and the person's followers, even with the period. It's a real pain in the
If you're
butt.
having a conversation, it restricts that conversation being
Restricts that
visible to
between
everybody.
those people.
Yeah,
And people used to use the dot as a trick, and now,
And now the dot doesn't
as of
work.
today, it didn't work.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
But are
you
we-
know they would catch on for sure.
But are we saying all the conversations that start with the @ symbol?
Yes. So if you started like, wasn't that presentation great @Mary, right? Which you all can tweet. Then that would go out to everybody. And that would show up in search, like everything you do on Twitter is in indexes in Google. So think about that too. Like that's what Calvin did when he composed his tweets, because what he's tweeting indexes in Google. So and then he has linked his Twitter and his Facebook. So you can see his Facebook page is similar in that he just shares things, which I don't necessarily recommend doing as a strategy. You have to think about what your audience is on each platform. For him, the audience is the same, so that's why he's chosen to do that. But he has close to 3,200 fans on Facebook. And another person who's done this is Reg Sadler, who started as an SEO guy, and he goes by the Twitter handle Zaibatsu, but he has 162,000 followers, and he does similar things, where he's been doing this since he was one of the first people on Twitter, but he shares information that he feels is relevant, and he shares it very, very frequently. And so he's built a name for himself doing that, and he's maxed out on his Facebook fans. So he's at, let's see, 4,969. You have a cap of 5,000.
That's actually the profile, not for Facebook fans on a page.
Oh yeah, but this isn't a fan page. This is his profile page.
Let me just ask this. Okay, with him sharing information, like this, is he also looking for sales conversions? And if he is, what is the percentage?
I'd have to ask him. I know that of this audience, I mean, I know that it has helped him build his brand. What, he's thought about it from a brand building standpoint, right? And that brand that he created was this name Zaibatsu. So he's built this brand around himself. And then he was able to leverage that number of followers into speaking opportunities. So then he started doing all of these speaking opportunities. Because they wanted him to come and talk about how he grew this audience. And of course, they want people within a large audience to come and speak about, you know, what these different organizations want him to come and speak. And so I know that as his brand was being built, his business grew as well. I don't know the percentages and the numbers there, but I know that it has grown his business.